And welcome to the Red 5 Tavern and the Tales from the Bounty Board. And welcome to the Red 5 Tavern Epilogue. And
oh no, we're hearing
Does
double.
somebody have the sound up?
That was me.
Oh,
Is it me too?
No, it's just me because I want to hear myself twice. And
Right.
I was looking to make sure
we're
it
pros.
was me.
I'm like, I know I had the YouTube up. Did I?
We're doing it live, y'all. This is what happens. This is the beautiful chaos of doing it live. It's okay. You sounded great, Charles, both times.
I actually think
I heard it a third time too, so I think
Well,
it
three
worked.
times. Three times is the charm.
Nice.
Beautiful.
So nice. We heard it thrice.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
There you go.
love it.
Awesome. Yes, welcome everyone. Actually, what we can talk about is that we've got a sort of a new background set up, and we're structured a bit differently. We've got some more flexibility as we move forward for season 2. So that was one of the trials and tribulations of this new setup. So enjoy, and hopefully that will never happen again. But thanks
But it
everyone
will.
who's here tonight, and thank you to our players tonight. We've got Ghost Kaylisha, played by Kelly. We've got Irsk, played by DB. We've got, actually we have the co-DM, and we also have Zubov, potentially, with Aaron. And finally, but not lastly, of course, we've got Venestra, played by Tina, the Wood Elf Warlock. Thank you all for joining us tonight for this Chill Stream Epilogue episode.
Yes.
So, as we all know, a couple of weeks ago, we defeated Ganjor. It was a tough go. It was a great battle. It was involved. We had some extra bells and whistles that added some great depth and some great ideas to the battle.
Definitely.
But we finished that campaign, and tonight we're going to talk about how the characters have evolved and changed 1 year removed from that battle, and how things have changed for them, and how they encapsulate that battle, and we'll see what changes have happened. It'll be really interesting to go through that. Now we have we have several offline submissions from some of the characters and some of the players who couldn't be here tonight, so we'll get to those as well. But before we get into that, does anybody have anything to talk about for the first season, the first campaign? Any sort of notes, any things that they thought about that would like to bring up before we jump into the epilogues?
I will.
Okay.
I've been here since day one. I missed a couple episodes here and there, but I wanted to remark on playing with you guys for the very first time, and then playing with you guys for the very last time, and how much we evolved, how much we started working off each other, and just kind of taking the lead off of somebody else, and how amazing that the past year has been doing all of that. It's just, we were just a couple of characters who all had our own stories, and don't tell anybody else what you are or what you can do. And we kind of evolved into like this make-believe family. And I absolutely love that. It made it something to look forward to every Friday for me.
Cheers to that.
That's
I agree.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree.
And as the family expanded, we had new players come in and leave for family reasons and for different kinds of reasons. Aaron joined us. It's an amazing addition. So many different people have made this group of people and the story that much better, because we can only script so much, and then it becomes the spontaneousness of the group that makes it that much better. And the way that we all sort of grew together, from veterans who've played for decades to noobs who've never played at all. It's amazing, that transformation. And not that you were a newbie, but Tina, but you hadn't played really. This was an exploration for you, and your
I didn't play it all.
Sure.
I didn't play it all before. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely phenomenal. It was
Thank you.
Witness, and
I owe that to all of you for helping me, encouraging me, and when I think I couldn't do it, believing in me more than I could believe in myself.
But you were so good to believe in. Your character
enjoyed
was
playing her.
such a slutty bitch.
And I think I'm a little bit of an outlier because me joining when Brad started it, he was starting it. He was like, okay, let's get everybody in. He was really eager to do it, and I'm like, oh, he's like, you want to play Sharp? I'm like, okay, what do we do? And he's like, here, I got you a character. I didn't even make this chick, so I just kind of just went with it.
Your own.
I tried. I think I did in the end. She's still, I think, a little bit. I think when I create something myself, it'll feel really more personable, for me. But I think I made her as much as I could her, for me, my own character. I enjoy playing her, though.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, then, so with that being said, let's jump into the 1 year later. Since we don't have
1 year later.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it.
We did try at the last minute to try and find some knockoffs, but none of them had the quintessential voice that Aaron just provided for us with the SpongeBob background. So picture it in your mind's eye like you have all season long. And we're going to ask Ghost Kalisha to present us with her 1 year later story for her character.
Oh, okay. I didn't know I was going first.
You can do it.
I can do it. Okay. So immediately after the battle, I could already feel myself starting to fade. And she did not want to leave without saying goodbye to each and every single person there. And of course she tried to hug them, and didn't work, but she tried. And Ursh was the very last one, and she thanked him for being her companion for so many years. And then she faded away into the afterlife, because everything on Earth, her final mission, it was completed. Of course, Kark was there to greet her with a cup of his ghost coffee. And Kalisha told him, I missed you so much. And you were never just a coffee guy. Who was the innkeeper.
Coffee guy?
The coffee
Oh
guy.
God, that was still so great. I still love that so much.
So now Kalisha and Kark run an afterlife inn for souls that have nowhere to go. And
I love it.
Oh my gosh.
and they call it the Longhouse.
Is it a bread and breakfast? Like, what are y'all doing? Like, are you eating? Like, what? I love it so much.
People feeling.
Oh, they make the
phenomenal.
greatest sandwiches. They go right through.
Do y'all like do some knitting and shit? Like, in the evening, like what y'all do?
Needles.
Paper mache macaroni picture, the macaroni picture.
Well, I'm sure there's like ghost
it.
needles or something in
There
there.
probably is.
Kalisha never really enjoyed knitting. Oh, she
it.
did whisper in Vanestra's ear though before she faded, saying, "Thank you for my first kiss. I'll never forget you."
Oh,
Oh.
Caca. That was
Dear
fun.
God.
That was a funny episode.
Oh God.
That was
Jesus.
great. Yeah,
was great.
so she's running an inn in the afterlife with Kark for souls who have nowhere to go. So that's what they're doing.
I see a campaign in the future. That's phenomenal.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
So from Kalisha, we move over to Irsk. And what has happened in the year after the battle with Ganjor?
Well, the reason why Ursh wanted to finish off Ganjor was in order to release Kalisha from basically being bound in some sort of spiritual or undead form and not allowed to move on, which I feel myself was that way. So that being done, I think he Kalisha being his only companion that he knows because his past is broken, he shed everything but the bare necessities, said a slight goodbye to everyone, went to the woods behind the longhouse where he whistled, and Max, his phantom dog, his Uncle Portal dog,
Wow.
dashed, and Max and Ursh went through their favorite thing to do would be walking through the mountains and the woods, looking for smaller adventures.
Aww. I forgot about Max.
Talking about wow, that's a deep cut. Not your perspective, of course, but from ours.
Deep, man. Jesus.
On a real note,
Fuck.
Max
That's spiritual
was put
shit.
away in the woods because I was having such a hard time trying to find a way to play him in the beginning that it was everybody forgot about him. Cool, so I just tuck that away.
Very, very cool. Nice. And Aaron, Zubov has a post Ganjor story we could like to share.
He does. I feel like we didn't get a ton of time to explore his story in this campaign, but that's all right. He contains multitudes. Prior to where he entered the story, I think he was basically treading water, just kind of like trying to find a purpose for his life and doing whatever. And I think getting caught up in the story with Ganjor basically gave him like an adventure to go on, something to fight, something to like put his skills to use, because up till this point it's just been about survival. And I think he probably never felt so alive than when he was like grabbing onto Ganjor, floating midair and just like pummeling him. Almost dying in the process, which he has not felt that in a long time. So I think Zubov would maybe spend a couple of days just kind of like unwinding, thinking about things, mulling things over in the Red Tavern. And then probably getting some help from his friends, would take up a collection for the kind of outstanding debt that he owes to the Mason Guild. And at this point, they would probably have enough gold to pay it off. So,
Oh yeah.
kind of putting his affairs into order, he would make sure that like that's paid off, and he would basically carve like a nice statuette of like the remaining members of the pardoned, and kind of give them as like a passing gift.
Wow.
And one day he will basically share with those who are still around, or maybe it's just rumors at the tavern, that he up and left Tempest Bay to go into the wilderness. He had heard rumors of this, basically this like extremely powerful and rare creature out in the wilderness that preys on wild animals and the occasional farming village, that sort of thing. Basically a monster that needs slaying. And called the Raven Mocker. It's a creature that stands like 10 feet tall, giant wings on its back. It's got like a tail made of snakes, and like jet black fur with like dark holes for eyes, and it breathes fire. And this kind of like stirs up his like sense of adventure and purpose. And but it's like he's been ignoring the call of the wild for quite some time. And I think trying to kill this thing is like the next adventure for him. So he will take off one day with Sophia in his little carry sack on his chest, and off he goes. Whether he succeeds or not, no one's heard from him since.
Okay, everybody roll for initiative, please. Just kidding.
Roll for tissues.
Man.
So maybe Zubov will return, maybe not, but he's got his quest.
Nice.
As long as Sophia returns, honestly, that's what we
Yes.
Yeah.
Kayleisha loved Sophia.
Oh, yes.
And that brings us to Venestra. What has happened in the years since the battle with Zubov?
So at the end, of course, Kiki told her about the kiss, and she said, "Well, it wasn't the best for me, but that's okay. I'll take it. You know, I'll take your praise." But she told her that if the situation had been different, they might have been sisters. But given her nature and the way that she is, it couldn't be that way. So, and so she
So is
told
this like
Nero.
Empire Strikes Back? Leia kisses Luke kind of moment. Oh, no.
Okay.
I kissed a girl and I liked it.
We were in the Shadow Realm, okay? And Steve was playing a character, Craxus, the Dragonborn.
You know what happens to girls when they go off to the Shadow Realm?
They get thrown like
They start
pterodactyls
experimenting.
across the room.
What happens in the Shadow Realm stays in the Shadow Realm. Come on now.
Craxus was under this evil spell, so we were in a Colosseum-like thing, and of course I wanted to save him, so I didn't want to kill him, so I turned myself into a pterodactyl, and I flew and started biting his armpit because that would hurt him, and he was like beating the crap out of Kira, so I was biting him, and then
This is a romance story, right?
Yes. And then
Okay.
he threw me up out of his armpit and he flung me and I landed on Venestra lip to lip.
Whoa. Whoa, you had a moment.
Yeah, no, we didn't. I was like, God, get the fuck out of me.
And
That was
Venestra
Did it take you a while to get up?
It was quite interesting. God, that session.
Someone rolled 20. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Oh my
okay.
God. That was hilarious.
Mm.
Oh, Jesus. Caca! We did that time. And okay. So, oh, Lord. Okay. And then Venestra told Nero that, he wasn't bad for half a man.
Oh.
And then she told Nero, or not Nero, Ersk that, she might miss how bad he smelled. But that he'd saved her ass quite a bit many times and she appreciated it. And then she told Zubov that, in her opinion, that his mother didn't raise a weak son.
Oh.
Ooh. Mainly tears.
Dang. That makes
She meant
my
that
drip.
She meant that sincerely. And so with her, even though her lawful evil nature still does things out of loyalty to some people, even if it's just for her, she decided though that her time with this group had been spent and that it was best to move on. And it had made her think about her existence. She knows what her existence is. She knew it, and what her life, will be like at the end. And she's fine with that because she was at peace with that choice. So she went, traveled, and settled in another village, probably not much unlike the one that she had just left. And she started a titty bar.
Hell yeah.
The old titty bar.
And she called it the Iron Titty. It's called the Iron Titty.
Hell yeah.
Siles is the bartender. He serves, and the waiter. He, serves drinks. He's quite a conversation piece. She welcomes all people that may be a little misunderstood in their little black hearts, and they come in there, and she knows this is a permanent thing, but it's for her. She decided, since she'd been alone for so long, she kind of wanted to see what it would be like to be around people more. And so that's what she's doing, and she doesn't think this will ever be her for everything. This is just another chapter in her life because, it could be a long life.
Yeah.
She decided that she may never get all the answers that she seeks, but that's what she's doing. She is just kind of enjoying the moment, working the pole a bit herself. Has quite a few interesting girls at working the pole. Siles is happy doing what he's doing. And she enjoys occasional meetups with Nikki.
Oh.
Occasional, you say.
Occasional. Not she can't. She's a commitment phobe. She can't commit, and she's a little emotionally distant. She can't help it. But
He's very busy too. I mean, let's
yeah,
face
very,
it.
very. I don't.
He's got a
she
busy
owns
job.
business. Yeah, and so she's content with their occasional meetups.
So she hooked up with Snicky.
Hello. Cheers.
Cheers on
Doubly
that.
charmed, I'm sure.
She found out what that tongue do.
Wow. So we've got Afterlife cafes, and we've got steel tea bars. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow. Yep, could have been.
So I have to ask, what's Nero doing 1 year later?
Well, as you all know, he's never as presumptuous as to speak about himself. Because
No.
Okay.
Never.
there is a poem written about him. If you'd like to hear it, I'm more than happy to recount it for you.
All ears.
As winter's embrace nears, the last of the leaves fall. The clans in Silver Needle Forest prepare, one and all. Peace has returned since the end of the Kobold War, and the clan Standfast's place was restored, healing an old scar. As that final battle raged, the united clans near defeat, an unexpected ally appeared, forcing the enemy's retreat. Nerhodri Standfast and his brother Tamlan killed a Kobold king with magical weapons from a faraway land. Victory won. The brothers and the clan elders met to settle the family's treacherous and unjustified debt. With proof in hand, Tamlan told who was to blame. The scroll that he held revealed the true villain's name. From the shadows, the villain leapt with a deadly slash. Nerhodri moved quicker and received the blade's wrath.
No!
Captured at once, the villain confesses, and the Standfast clan's name is cleared to cheers from the masses. As Nero dies in Tamlan's arms, his life but all gone. His last breath is a smile for his family's new dawn. So
Here.
Nero has fulfilled his lifelong dream of reestablishing his family's standing within the clan where he came from and sacrificing himself for his brother, his family, and the clan. And that brought him a smile. And that's what happened to him in the past year.
Wow.
Damn.
Well, damn.
Pour one out for Nero.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Kaylee, she hears a knock on the long house.
Is he hanging out with you? Like, is he at the end?
Oh.
Like,
She opens the door and says, Nero!
Son of a...
Didn't think that
he's
one
like,
through.
I gotta spend eternity with you fuckers too. God damn it.
And I hug him the biggest, squishiest ghost hug because you could do that in the
I'm
afterlife.
so happy you're here. I like your poem.
Of course, he only comes up to like my ghost boobs, but you know.
Does he come up that
Worst
far?
things.
Does he come up that far? Really?
I pictured him being like 4 foot, and I was about 5 foot. So
I was a little
him-
taller, so I think he came up to like the middle of my waist. I was like, "Oh, sweet summer child," that kind of thing. Yeah.
Wow. I did not think that through at all. Great.
Yes, Nero,
You know
will
what?
you
That
stay
is-
with us?
That is
Nero, will you stay with us and help us run this bed and breakfast?
Oh
Come on. You want to be the treasurer? He can be the treasurer. Let him be the fucking treasurer.
This is
Just
true
until the
Nero
rest of
fashion.
your
Think if he
family
gets run
dies,
over,
you know?
and then-
We've been bankrupt in a week.
He'll steal it all.
Reunited and it feels
Feels
so
so
good.
good. Oh my god, that's great. I fucking fucking love it.
That's awesome. That's
So,
awesome.
That was
I
kinda-
loved your poem, Charles. Though seriously,
Well,
no,
thank
that
you
was
very
good, man.
Yes.
Um,
Charles, I couldn't have gone any better.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sad.
So before we get to some of the notes that that Kaylisha or Miss Kelly has for some of the other players, I'm going to play a quick video from Eleonora, who has her story post battle with Ranjor.
Guided by Sorceress Glinda, I've been traveling abroad, training in both battle and in word, regaling the crowds with the heroic story of the Red Five Tavern heroes with their defeat over the evil of Ganjor. Peace and happiness has returned. The songs of victory echoes throughout the lands.
Oh, that's sweet.
Nice.
That's cool. That's exactly what I can see what a character like hers would be doing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yep.
That was a great episode.
It was. God.
That was epic. That was absolutely epic.
Definitely.
The look on
There's
Charles's face when he's like, "There's props. We're really doing this."
You know what? I regret that I didn't play that time. That I only watched. Like I wasn't there for her song episode. I still feel robbed that I didn't play that time for that one. That's okay. I got to see a lot.
Yeah.
We all saw way more than we needed to.
We did.
There was
And I guess
stripper pole.
And I guess our little Ocean's 11 heist kind of thing that we did with Tom was fun
amazing.
too.
That was amazing.
That whole thing where we polymorphed and fucking did all kinds of shit.
You guys went to week planning that. That was amazing. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. That was another
awesome.
one. Erskina.
Erskina.
There's no fuck in there.
I want to see if I can eat this whole banana. I almost choked to death and died.
Did it
That
for the
was
show.
so fun.
Oh my God.
So fun.
He committed. DB committed.
You definitely committed.
He's so committed to that shit. I had no idea. When that thing went black and he came back with him wearing that fucking scarf. I almost wet my pants. I couldn't even. I don't even know.
Yep.
Calamari.
Oh, that's amazing. So, Miss Kelly / Kaylisha, you have some notes from some of our players who could make it tonight, don't you?
Yes. I'm going to start with Steve, aka Twitter, the Arakokra Bard. He said that Twitter has been wandering the landscape playing his lute for beer money. Totally
Hell
Twitter.
I'm totally all in on that. That's great.
Oh yeah. And
he needs to come visit my club.
he probably does.
Oh.
Bring the beer.
Now Steve also played Craxus Edril, the Dragonborn Barbarian, the one that threw Pterodactyl Kaylisha on top of Venestra.
And then he fell on me.
He's expanding on something that we did on spring break when our characters, needed to fill in some gaps.
Yes.
And spring break, he was cooking. Now that it's 1 year later, Craxus has found joy in perfecting his newfound love of cooking as a chef in a fancy restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah. So yay for Craxus.
Yeah.
Took the intentions of Crack and Kark. They went on their blue ribbon exploration there over in the other coast there. That's fantastic. Very cool.
Absolutely. Next we have Don, aka Fistfire, the variant human monk. He was the one, whenever he rolled a 20, he would scream, "Get fisted!" Which is
God,
so funny.
so much.
Catchphrase.
God, I love that so much. The awkward flirting episode that we did together.
Gosh,
Oh
That was
no.
weird.
that was terrible.
It was great. It was so fucking terrible. It was great.
If anyone out there does not remember, I'm going to refer you to the Red 5 Tavern on TikTok and just scroll through all of those videos. I tried to cut out the funniest ones
Oh
ever.
my God.
That made a video clip. So Fistfire, he has moved into a monastery where he is studying the way of the fisted warriors.
Mm.
He's still fisting away.
Vernie might have to call upon him.
Fist on, brother.
And like when he rouses from his like meditation, does he say, "The coffee guy"?
Oh my gosh!
God, that's so
paper.
Whoa.
Let's give credit where credit is due.
Yep.
Dawn/Fistfire is the one who created the coffee
The
guy.
coffee guy.
Coffee
the
guy.
coffee guy. Like we're supposed to care about the coffee
Legendary.
guy.
Hilarious.
Oh my
Absolutely legendary from season
God. Laughed every time he said it.
Oh my gosh, yes. That was funny. That was funny. Now, the final story was my character's best friend, and that was Princess Sprinkles, the Druish Deep Gnome. And this one's a little bit longer, okay? I'm going to read this word for word. Princess Sprinkles' epilogue. After the death of Kalisha, a heartbroken Princess Sprinkles rode off into the sunset with her new friend, Vader. Upon her journey home, she encountered a sweet and handsome one-handed dwarf by the name of Hans the Hands Gropa. Do you remember Hans from episode
Hans.
2?
Josh.
Josh's character.
Josh's
Wow.
character, Sith Care Bear.
Hans, what those hands do?
Well, one of them got cut off.
Or
That's
that's
Oh.
what
Okay.
that
It's
It's not
left
doing
us
much
stump.
anymore.
No,
It
not
left a
much.
stump.
Just hanging around.
Sorry. Anyway, go ahead.
holding the amulet that was
Finestra's mind is racing.
That's yeah.
I'll tell you
see
what
the
that
stars
hand
in her
do.
eyes. You can see the stars. If you can see that she has stars.
Hmm.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
The attraction was instant, and they decided to travel together. Upon arriving in Princess Sprinkles' kingdom of Pillsbury Duncan, and I love how she did that, Pillsbury
Oh
Duncan.
my God, that's great.
The people welcomed her back with open arms. Hans was welcomed as well with Vader. Over the course of a year, the kingdom's sigil was changed to a wolf in honor of Vader's service to the people. He defended the kingdom, and the children loved him as their new protector. In addition, a holiday was quickly formed to honor the memory of Kalisha.
wow.
The holiday would give everyone in the kingdom a day to enjoy with lots of music and coffee. Lastly, it came as no surprise that a romance had blossomed between Sprinkles and Hans. They were married within a week's time and had a child named Raisin. Raisin!
Oh my god.
The little prince was as tiny as a raisin, hence the name. He was sweet and loved greatly by Sprinkles and Hans and the kingdom. Sprinkles often thinks of going on another journey with Hans, but for now, there is no place like home.
Oh,
Oh,
so cute. I love that.
that was
I love that.
I love that. I do.
Oh.
Funny, she didn't look Druish.
Got him.
Ah,
Oh, Sprinkles.
oh,
Oh, that was a great
That is
story.
wonderful. I love it.
Yeah, that was a
Hey.
great story.
wow. Wow.
So many memories with this campaign. We had some
Yep.
great times.
Yes, absolutely. And that's a great dovetail to what we're going to talk about next. Maybe Aaron, you can speak to a little bit what's coming up next for season 2, and
Yeah.
we're going to move on from here.
Where are we going now?
Yeah, where are we going?
We are going nowhere because we're shutting down. That's it. No, that is not true.
Damn.
Why would you do this to me?
Oh my
No. We're not going anywhere.
Okay.
The Red 5 Tavern will continue. We are going to be starting a new campaign, however. We've done a little poll around with the players, and it seems like we want to stick with D&D 5th edition, so we will continue with that. But we're going to be exploring new setting, new campaign, clean slate, starting fresh from ground zero, I guess. That seems bad. Starting fresh from square one. That's it. So we'll be making new characters. We'll be talking about how to get them connected and what kind of campaign we actually want to run. So we're still in the workshopping stage of it. But yeah, we've got the keys to the YouTube channel, to StreamYard. We got everything under one roof. So keep an eye out for any more firm updates than that. But yeah, more D&D is coming your way.
Awesome.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yes.
The best
Can't
news.
wait.
Best news.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
And as we sunset on season 1 of the Red 5 Tavern, I'd like to thank every one of you all here tonight, the ones that submitted stories offline, and everyone who's played with us from day one, and everyone who's watched, especially everyone in the comments and who's watched us from day one. Thank you all. We're having a blast doing it. We wouldn't be doing it pretty much without all of you. We'd be doing it, but it makes it so much better that you're here.
Oh, yeah.
And we can't wait to launch season 2 and have more adventures, more laughs, and more memories with this growing family. And from everyone at the Red 5 Tavern, we bid you all a good night, and we'll see you soon.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
See you
Take care,
guys.
y'all.
Bye.